What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Nose Knows Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, aka The Nose. How about Carson Hocevar? My man finally did it, and we can talk about how his celebration was. At first, I didn't know what he was doing, but then he got out of the car while sitting on the side of his window and was just going crazy. I loved it. I thought it was one of the best celebrations that I've ever seen in NASCAR. He even almost caught a beer from a fan. If he would have caught that beer, that would have been awesome. I see a lot more wins in his young and bright future. Again, congratulations to the Hurricane himself, Mr. Carson Hocevar. Talladega did exactly what Talladega always does. It looks calm for a while and then turn into an absolute chaos when it mattered most. The first stage was typical for a super speedway race. You had big packs, a lot of manufacturer teamwork, Fords versus Chevys versus Toyota lines, and constant shuffling up front. Nobody could really break away, and most of the field was they just tried to stay in line and avoid the big one. And of course, the big one came anyways. Around lap 26 of the second stage is when it went down. The intensity started to ramp up hard. Drivers started making more aggressive moves, especially in the outside lane, and that's when things got messy. One wrong push or a block run triggered a multi-car wreck that wiped out a chunk of contenders. I believe it was 26 drivers that got caught up in the big one. That's classic Talladega. Guys can run clean all day and they still get caught in something that they didn't even start. The third stage turned into a sprint with whoever still had a clean car. Track position and drafting help became everything. The closing laps were all about timing runs and having someone behind you willing to push without spinning you out. The finish itself was tight and aggressive. Leaders throwing late blocks, cars fanning out, trying to side draft and get runs. I thought Erik Jones was going to help out Chris Buescher at first, and then Jones gets in trouble. The last few laps were crazy, and then Ryan Preece looked like he was going to go towards the front. Then he causes a wreck, and then we see Carson Hocevar take it at the finish line. I gave you my three best bets last week, and they almost all hit. Let's see. We had Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with the top 10, and that hit. We also hit Zane Smith with the top 10, and we almost got there with Todd Gilliland with the top 10, but he finished, he finished in 11th place, so he just finished up short of that top 10 podium. My lineup didn't too bad. I racked up 168 points, but it should have been a lot worse as my 5 drivers finished the race, and my 36 for 36 last week was Ty Dillon, and he came away with the 13th place finish. I moved into first place in my 36 for 36 money league, so that was nice to see there, as I am now standing at 401 points on the season. Got a 3-point cushion. Enough with Talladega, and we move to the Lone Star State, and we're going to start racing over at Texas Motor Speedway. My lineup for this week will be Kyle Larson. Larson is always a threat at intermediate tracks. If he is dialed in on long runs, he can and will dominate. My second driver will be the 24 car of William Byron. The slump of Byron's 2026 is very likely to end this week. He is the best finisher at Texas since 2022 with one race win and a supreme 6th place average finish. The Chevrolet should be on the brink of perfecting their 1.5 mile package. And if Willie B qualifies in the top 10, he will be a huge threat to win. My third driver will be their teammate. Elliott has raced at Texas 15 times and has an average finish of 12.5. He has one win here at Texas. He has 7 top 10s and should be a driver to watch in the final stage. My next driver will be the 6th car, Brad Keselowski. Brad K has never won here at Texas, but he has 2 runner-up finishes. He has 6 straight, that's right, 6 straight top 10s at Texas Motor Speedway. I think he will be up there near the front when he came to the end of the race. My next driver will be the 19, Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe has established a strong record here at Texas Motor Speedway, currently holding one of the best average finishes at the track among active drivers. As of May 2026, he has made 5 Cup Series starts at Texas, recording 1 top 5 and 3 top 10 finishes. He is one of the few drivers to have finished in the top 10 in every next-gen race at the track through 2025, maintaining an impressive average finish of 9.0. My garage driver will be the man himself, and I believe, he just took the pole. Last week's winner, the 77 car of Carson Hocevar. Texas Motor Speedway is where Hocevar got his first ever truck race win back in 2023. He is also the youngest pole sitter at 22 years old ever in NASCAR for Texas, and that was last year in 2025. And he, like I said, he is back on the pole. That's 2 straight years that the 77 car is on the pole. He is coming in with high momentum with his first Cup Series win last week at Talladega. Let's take a look at the matchups. We got the 77 car, Carson Hocevar, versus the 54 car, Ty Gibbs. Like Gibbs did 2 weeks ago, Hocevar is riding high after his first Cup victory last weekend. The track's defending pole sitter said recently that Texas was a strong spot for the number 77 team, though the numbers say otherwise. It's hard to beat against Toyota at an intermediate, but Gibbs' weak spot historically has been 1.5-mile tracks, despite scoring top 10s in both intermediate races this season. But I am going with the 77 car of Carson Hocevar. The next matchup is Joey Logano versus Chase Elliott. I'm going with the 9 car here, Chase Elliott, and there's more on him later on in the podcast. But aside from winning this race back in 2024, Elliott's recent Texas record leaves a lot to be desired. With 2 top 10s in the last 9 races, Logano enters as the defending winner, but Team Piskey's raw pace at 1.5-mile venues is concerning to me. Next, we got Brad Keselowski versus Chase Briscoe. I'm going with the 19 car Chase Briscoe here. Don't overlook Brad K this weekend. He's posted 6 top 10s in the last 7 Texas races and also holds the most laps led at 685 of any active driver without a win here. Briscoe, in my mind, enters this weekend as one of the favorites, especially if he can lay down a decent qualifying lap. Next, we got Ross Chastain versus Daniel Suarez. We all know what's going on with these 2 guys. They got beef with each other. They were teammates last year. And then Daniel Suarez leaves and goes to the 7 car. They almost got in a fight earlier this year. But I am going to be taking Daniel Suarez in this one. Chastain thrives off chaos, and it's proven with runner-up efforts in 2 of the last 3 Texas races. But Trackhouse has been among the biggest mysteries to begin 2026. Chastain's not running well. SVG, he's running decently. And the 88 car, Connor Zelich, he's not doing anything like we thought he would. He did throw down a really good qualifying time today, though. But I still don't see the 88 doing anything. Trackhouse is just struggling right now, and their lack of speed at Kansas 2 weeks ago is alarming. Suarez, meanwhile, feels really good with Spire, and Texas is among his steadiest tracks. My 36 for 36 pick last week, like I said, I had the 10 car of Ty Dillon. That worked out well for me as he got 13th place. He stayed out of trouble. This week, I am going with another sleeper. I am going with the 43 car of Eric Jones. Jones is one of the more experienced drivers in the field. When his Toyota is in good shape, Jones tends to run well. Before a wreck last week Sunday, Jones had a great chance to find victory lane at Dega. In Texas, Jones has 2 top 10 finishes in his last 4 starts, including an average finish of 15th place, despite wrecking out of one of those events. My best bets for Texas Motor Speedway. I got Chase Elliott to win outright at plus 1,200. Tyler Reddick to win outright plus 600. I think Austin Dillon is going to run well here. He did not look good in practice. He had a decent qualifying, mark. But I'm going to take Austin Dillon with a top 10 at plus 500. Daniel Suarez, he is starting second place in tomorrow's race. I got him at a top 10 at plus 235. And then another bet that I got going on is I got Kyle Busch with the top 10. I think he's going to run well. He ran really well Friday night in the truck race. I thought he was going to pull it out, but Carson Hocevar looked really good in that truck race. But I think Kyle Busch with the new crew chief coming in this week, I think he's going to show up and he's going to get a top 10. That's at plus 320. I got two going for Carson Hocevar with the top 5 at plus 285 and Carson Hocevar a top 10 at plus 110. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. It really helps grow the channel, and I would really appreciate it. This has been another episode of the Nose Knows Sports Podcast. God bless.